What is going on with Wendy Williams? Well, as of late, Wendy Williams is dealing with this issue with her finances. Wells Fargo is not allowing her to have access to her bank account. First of all, I question why she's even banking with Wells Fargo, especially with all the money that she has. Wells Fargo has been involved in a number of questionable practices over the past few years. But anyway, let me just read this article from people.com. It says Wendy Williams can't access several $1,000,000 from Wells Fargo. Bank claims she's being exploited. Wendy Williams, who has been dealing with ongoing health issues, believes the bank impeded and unlawfully prevented her access to her finances. Wendy Williams is in a legal fight with her bank. In a letter to the court on February 4th, obtained by People on Thursday, Williams 57 claims Wells Fargo has denied her any access, whether online or otherwise, to her financial accounts, assets, and statements for more than 2 weeks. According to her filings with the court, this action was based on the advice of Williams' former financial advisor, Lori Schiller, that Williams was of unsound mind. The documents state that Wells Fargo currently has several $1,000,000 of Williams funds in its possession. The bank, in its filings to the court, said it froze the funds because Wells Fargo has strong reason to believe that Williams is the victim of undue influence and financial exploitation. I wonder who's doing that, Kevin Hunter, her ex. It does not specify who or what is exploiting or unduly influencing Williams. It says it reached that conclusion based on reports of the financial advisor who had recently witnessed telltale signs of exploitation, including Williams' own express apprehensions. It says it also relied on reports from other independent third parties who know Williams well and share these concerns. Williams says in her filings that she fired Schiller as her financial advisor due to Schiller's malfeasance in relation to Williams' accounts and Schiller's improper conduct in relation to their professional relationship. Nevertheless, she says Wells Fargo wrongfully continues to rely on Schiller's advisement as support for its decision to deny Williams access to her financial assets and statements. Thus, the talk show host, who has been dealing with ongoing health issues, believes the bank impeded and unlawfully prevented her access to her finances. Because of this, Williams is asking the court to take immediate action to prevent the bank and those associated with Wells Fargo from interfering with her right to access her financial assets and statements. If granted, this move would require Wells Fargo and others acting on its behalf to unfreeze Williams' accounts. If she continued to be denied access to her bank accounts, Williams says she will be in default of several bill payments, including her mortgages, her marital settlement payment, and employee payroll, and will continue to suffer imminent and irreparable harm. All right, with that being said, let's take a look at Wendy Williams' natal chart. Now, I did a few readings about Wendy Williams over the years, but this time we're going to be looking at things from more so of a financial perspective, but also in relation to her mental health. Now, one of the things that stands out about Wendy Williams' chart is that she has her South Node at the Aries point of Capricorn. Now, if you remember, or if you saw my one of my most recent videos, the one I did on Yummy Sandiford, the little kid that got killed at age 11, he had joined the gang, the Black Disciples. He had his South Node at the Aries point of Capricorn. And I talked about how that Aries point in Capricorn with the South Node in particular can manifest as heavy karma. And in Wendy's case, it explains why she's dealing with this issue with her career. It does seem like she is nearing the end of her career. They are talking about permanently replacing her in terms of being a host of the Wendy Williams show. She hasn't been hosting this whole 13th season, and Sherry Shepard and some other co-hosts have been taking over. So I'm surprised she actually lasted as long as she did with that Capricorn South Node at the Aries point. Now, she has some factors in her chart that can point to mental health issues. So, and also what's going on currently with the bank. So in terms of the money situation with the bank, she has Aries on the second house cuts, the seventh degree of Aries at that. And that seventh degree can deal with her getting bamboozled, being a victim of theft, being scammed or conned. So she better be careful. So when her financial advisor or her ex-financial advisor was saying that they believe that she's being exploited, I wouldn't be surprised just off of that seventh degree of Aries on the second house cuts alone. Then you have to look at Mars, because Mars rules that second house. It's in Gemini, and the Gemini theme is pointing to her mind, but also the nature in which she made her money through media, starting with radio first, later segueing into her own television show, the Wendy Williams show. So while this conjunction has caused her to be successful in media, it's also contributing to her financial problems, all the way going back to the issue with her husband or ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, and all that type of stuff. But this time around, she's battling the bank. And when you have Aries on the second, yeah, you might have to battle the bank or some other financial institution. But she has Mars conjoined to Venus. Venus is money, and Venus is ruling that third house. Third house is her mind. Gemini rules the mind as well. So this conjunction alone is showing that, she's being called into question with her mental health. And then especially with Mars and Venus squaring Chiron or Pisces, that can cause her to lack control over her finances, whether it's being done involuntarily or through Wells Fargo, or through, her just not having the mental wherewithal. So this square alone, but this same square can deal with her being built out of money, being where her money is being stolen, or where she is a victim of a scam or theft, what have you. Also, her Mercury is in the sixth house and it's squaring Neptune. That right there can produce mental health issues. It can cause her to lack the mental wherewithal to properly manage her finances, which is also being seen with that Mercury square Jupiter in Taurus. This is also one of the aspects that points to her disease. She has Graves' disease, which can result in a hyperactive thyroid, and Taurus rules the thyroid. And with Jupiter in Taurus, that can deal with hyperactive thyroid. And with Jupiter squaring Mercury, Mercury's in Leo, and that Leo rules the heart, and heart problems, heart palpitations in particular, are one of the symptoms of Graves' disease. Also, it explains why her eyes are all bugged out. That's a symptom of Graves' disease as well. So basically, the Graves' disease has been exacerbating over the past few years, which contributes to the decline in her mental health as well as just a decline in her health, period. Now, going back to this Mars-Venus conjunction, I forgot to mention that her Mars is in quincunx with that Scorpio moon. So that's where the bank is saying she needs a guardian, especially when you take into account that the moon is ruling her sixth house, and the sixth house, that's the house of guardianship. So it's right there. Again, Mars ruling the second house, being in Gemini, and it making a quincunx with that Scorpio moon. So she's in a bad way. It shows in her chart. She also has Neptune squaring her ascendant. That's the aspect that resulted in her falling out or fainting on air that time. And then she also has Saturn and Pisces opposing Uranus. And you could throw in there Pluto as well. And she has Chiron and Pisces opposing Pluto. When I see those aspects, that makes me think she's being forced into retirement. And for a good reason, because she's obviously in a bad way, mental health wise, but also physical health. I did read in an article that they're saying that she can't even dress herself anymore. And she's losing friends because I guess she can't communicate like she used to be able to. She also has another aspect that can point to serious mental health issues too, where she's on the decline mentally. So I do believe what her ex-financial advisor is saying, but when people are dealing with mental health issues, they're often in denial. And the same aspect, Mercury square Neptune, that can create mental health issues, can also cause her to be in denial. This can also manifest as addiction. And people did mention her alcoholism before, and she might be on some prescription drugs and things like that. But Wendy is definitely in a bad way. And again, she might be at the end of her career. They might be forcing her into retirement with them having Sherry Shepherd take over. Now, Wendy has a 6th house sun, which means that health is a major theme in her life. And it can also result in being humble. And you know, Wendy Williams, she always had that mouth. She always would talk trash about celebrities and stuff. That's basically what her whole claim to fame was about. That's what she did for a living. But with that Capricorn South Node producing that heavy karma, it does seem like things are starting to fall back on her, or, you know, she's having to basically pay back a lot of karmic debt in this lifetime. And again, I'm actually surprised that she lasted as long as she did. Now, Wendy is dealing with some heavy transits right now that can really put her in a bad way, namely Pluto. Namely with Pluto opposing her ascendant. So this transit has become exact 5 times. Well, it will become exact 5 times. It's already become exact 3 times, twice last year. And then most recently, January 15th of 2022, it's going to become exact again on September 3rd and for a final time on November 12th. So Wendy is really in a precarious position right now, not just health-wise, but also financially. And this is why people are saying that she's being exploited, is this Pluto opposition. And so, yeah, she really could be exploited around that time and not even realize it. Or maybe she does realize it, but maybe she's also in denial about it at the same time in terms of her being unable to manage her finances. Saturn is approaching an opposition with her Mercury. So that could result in her having to be subjected to a mental health test to prove that she's capable of managing her finances. The South Node's going to land on her moon, and that can cause her to have to get a guardian over her finances. So yeah, it's not looking good for Wendy. So it's like she's trying to hold on as much as possible, but she's going to have to relinquish some control at some point. And that's what that Pluto opposition is representing. And that Pluto opposition can even take her out of here, like physically, where she could be looking at her last days. She might pass this year with that heavy Pluto opposition. She's also dealing with a Neptune transit that's pretty damaging as well. So Neptune is squaring her Mars and Venus. And this is one of the aspects that points to her account being frozen and her not having access to her money. Again, Mars is ruling that 2nd house. But this can also make her a victim of someone's underhandedness in terms of money. Someone could be scamming her or stealing from her, what have you. Again, she's in a really bad spot. And I kind of feel sorry for her. But on the other hand, I know how much damage she's caused over the years with people just with her gossiping and things like that. So I know some people are just looking at this situation like this is what she gets. Now, I'm not going that far, but she does, again, have that Capricorn South Node. Capricorn South Node's period just got heavy karma. But yeah, we shall see how this unfolds. And again, she's not in a good position right now, especially with both Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces transiting her 1st house, which can make her very weak around this time. All right, so let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you think Wendy has heavy karma? Or do you think this has nothing to do with karma and she's just in a bad way health-wise and all that? But like I said, I don't think she's coming back in terms of her show. She got just too much against her right now, transit-wise. But yeah, so stay tuned for more videos. Please like and share. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification button so you'll know when I go live. And if you would like a reading, you could go to my website. The link is posted in the description section. All right, I'll be back with some more videos.